Hey, welcome to this latest lesson, and we've got a huge topic today, a very important one. Why you press, and I'm just going to swear here now, so if you've got kids nearby, mute it. Why you press the fuck it button and how we're going to stop it. And I'll try not to swear as much, I promise, throughout the rest of the lesson. So essentially, this button is when something doesn't go quite to plan and you just think, screw it, I'm just going to throw everything out the window. What's the point? Life's unfair, all that kind of stuff. So first thing to address is that it's not uncommon, okay? You're not lazy, you're a human being. It's very, very common, but we can't keep doing this and we've got to fix the cycle. And that's exactly what we're going to look at today. So first up, what is this button all about? Well, it's the moment when you mentally hit abort on your goal. So you say, screw it, I've blown my diet anyway. Might as well order the pizza, might as well have the whole kind of tub of ice cream, all that kind of stuff. It's abandoning your 12-week training plan because you missed a couple of sessions or you missed a couple of check-ins. It's throwing away months of progress because the scale hasn't moved for a couple of weeks. The button really isn't about food. It's not about exercise. It's not even about spending. It's a psychological response when we feel we've failed. Okay, that's the nooks and crannies of it. It's a psychological response for when you feel you've failed. And it's the all or nothing mindset trap that our brain sets for us when we encounter obstacles. And like I said, it's just the human kind of way of dealing with these kind of things, but you have to be more self-aware to work through it. And that's what we're going to touch here. So why does it happen first up? Well, it's perfectionist thinking, straight down the line, perfectionist thinking. So when you set rigid all or nothing goals, any kind of single deviation from that just feels catastrophic, absolutely catastrophic. Your brain categorizes the situation as perfect or ruined. There's no kind of middle ground with it, and that's what we want to avoid. We need to be more receptive to the middle ground. There's emotional hijacking, so your stress hormones flood your system with shame and overwhelm, making you really overthink the process irrationally. I talk about this a lot, don't I? Rational and irrational thinking. We need to be far more rational when we think. Dopamine seeking behavior, so your brain is craving comfort. It's craving immediate relief from any negative emotions, any negative stress. It pushes you towards comfort food because it's nice and comfortable. It pushes you towards binge watching TV programs. It pushes you towards just sitting on the sofa because it's comfortable and skipping a workout, not doing difficult things. That's what your body does, your brain does to you. It pushes you towards those things. Being more aware of that will help a lot. And the self-reinforcing cycle, so the guilt from abandoning your goals creates more negative emotions, so you feel worse and worse, making it far more likely to hit that button again next time you face a setback. It's almost, we talk about building habits. It's just building a habit in the wrong direction. So common triggers of all of this. These are specific situations that are more likely to mean you press that button. Okay, I'm not going to swear, that button. So work stress. So it could be an 11 p.m. email from your boss, back-to-back meetings without breaks, looming deadlines. All these things create a cortisol spike, which makes your brain crave relief, which I just spoke about. This could be in the form of a takeout or gym sessions, skip gym sessions. Poor sleep, again, is going to have a massive impact on it. So if you've had less than 6 hours of sleep for 2 nights in a row, your prefrontal cortex, which is the decision-making center of your brain, can function at something like 40% capacity, which research shows you'll consume an average of nearly 400 calories more when you're sleep deprived, and you're 89% more likely to skip a planned workout when you are tired. So that's a hell of a lot, isn't it? Nearly 90% of the time you're more likely to skip a workout when you're very tired. If you've had a disappointing weigh-in or disappointing couple of weeks or whatever, you stand on the scale after a week of perfect eating, you've done everything right, and you see the number on the scale is unchanged, or even worse, it's gone higher. That triggers immediately, what's the frigging point, doesn't it? Straight away you think, what's the point in all of this? And most people throw the toys out the pram and just kind of like self-sabotage straight away. Studies show that 72% of dieters abandon their plans within 24 hours of a disappointing weigh-in. Again, we have to rise above that. The kind of the analogy I'm going to use here is, let's stop thinking like a toddler. We are adults, we are human adults, and we need to think more rationally and sensibly about these situations when they occur. And it's just being more self-aware in the moment when they occur. And then it could be like a family argument, could be an issue as well. So a heated exchange with a partner or teenage kids or whatever can activate that brain stress response again, results in emotional discomfort, which again can be self-soothed with food, alcohol, excessive spending. When you go online and spend it makes you feel better. All these behaviors offer immediate comfort, but offer long-term regret. Okay, so we want to avoid these things, the common triggers there. Now, the consequences of all of this: one moment, 24 hours, okay? A single decision seems harmless, ordering a pizza after a stressful day or skipping one workout. But again, research shows that initial decision triggers a 67% chance of making more additional unhealthy choices within the same day. So one single decision can really help trigger making more and more unhealthy choices. A good way of reversing this is to say that, right, if you get a workout done first thing in the morning, you're more likely to stay on track with your nutrition. You're more likely to be more positive that day because you have set yourself up already. It works the other way around. If you skip the workout in the morning, you're more likely to think that day, oh, you know what, I'll miss this, I'll miss that. I won't have a healthy lunch. I'll go and get fish and chips for tea or something along those lines, okay? The full weekend, the consequences of a full weekend spiral. So the moment extends into days of abandoned plans. You might think, and this is common, I've already ruined Friday, I might as well crack on and ruin the rest of the weekend. Now that perfectionist thinking leads to consuming, on average, 4,200 additional, that's the word there, additional calories after cancelling 2 to 3 planned healthy activities. Like, that's just a double whammy, isn't it? Like, you're not burning more calories, you're consuming 4,200 on average more because of that, okay? Bad week syndrome, so this is when it extends to 4 to 7 days, so your confidence drops and your motivation tanks as negative self-talk just intensifies, and it keeps going and it keeps going. Your cortisol levels remain high. It makes healthy decision making extremely hard. You're far more likely to make worse decisions. Your sleep's going to get worse, which again makes things harder. And it just creates a perfect storm for continued self-sabotage. And then you get an identity crisis if it starts going beyond the week. Now you question whether you should even bother trying again. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. Why is the world against me? Why are the weight loss gods against me? Why are the fitness gods against me? This fundamental shift in self-perception is a very dangerous consequence even. And we want to really, really avoid this identity crisis beyond the week as much as we possibly can. So we need to nip it in the bud after that one moment, essentially. So what to do instead? Now, this is the kind of tasks that we're going to tackle to move forward. So instead of saying this, I ate that donut, my diet's ruined, fuck it, I'll order pizza. Apologies for swearing again. Why not try this? That donut doesn't define my day. My next meal is going to be nutritious. I'm just going to get back on plan. So just that little kind of rationalized thinking makes the world of difference, guys. I don't want to keep beating this drum, but we've got to stop thinking like toddlers and we've got to start thinking like adults in this situation and thinking, right, what advice would I give to a friend? If a friend came to me and said, oh, I had a donut earlier, what should I do? What should I do? Should I have 15 more donuts or should I just get back on plan? You would tell them 100% of the time, get back on plan, because you know they're trying to achieve something. So say it to yourself, okay? Get back on plan, simple. Practice the 5-minute reset. When your kind of finger hovers over that button, pause for 5 minutes. The urge to abandon ship typically peaks at 4 minutes, then subsides. So really hold firm for 5 minutes. Remember, just because you skipped one workout doesn't erase the 3 you've already done this week. Your brain exaggerates the importance of breaking streaks. We like streaks. The human brain, likes having consistency and streaks, seeing the ticks all ticked off. If you miss one, it starts to panic. Then we got to think, right, let's think rationally about it. It's not a problem. Just tomorrow we get back on plan. And that is the general concept, guys. Don't know why that just zoomed in there. Now, how to break the cycle. Now, this is a very important one, how to break the cycle. Now, I want you to identify your personal triggers. If this is related with you, this lesson today, and I'm sure it has, because it will do for most people, I want you to identify your personal triggers. So I want you to track when your button moment occurs, okay? Is it after weigh-ins? Is it after family conflicts? Is it after work stress? Are you overly tired? So research shows that most self-sabotage follows predictable patterns unique to each person. So have a think about when that moment occurs. It could be when you've had an injury. It could be when you've been ill. It could be when something crops up with the family, something like this. Think about it. Keyword there, think, okay? Create a pattern interrupt. So implement a mandatory 10-minute cooling period before acting on impulses. So we've got the 5 minutes, then the 10. So during this time, your prefrontal cortex can regain control of your emotional brain, which is that brain that's just going haywire and thinking, oh, I need to eat everything or I need to self-sabotage. And it reduces reactive decisions. So it just helps you think more logically about the situation. So 10-minute cooling off period. If you're feeling stressed, if you feel like you want to go to the cupboards and eat everything, 10 minutes, cool down, okay? Establish emergency response actions as well. So Could be take a 5-minute mindful walk outdoors without your phone. It could be message your accountability partner or myself with specific phrases like, I need a reset, let's go. It might be write down your thoughts for 3 minutes without editing or judging them, okay? Could be use box breathing. So that's when you go 4 counts in, hold for 4, 4 counts out, hold for 4, and do that continuously for a couple of minutes. That kind of thing. It just calms you down, makes you think responsibly about things, and makes you think more logically about stuff, and doesn't let your irrational and emotional brain take over. And then we're going to build your toolkit. Okay, so emergency nutrition plan first and foremost. Now, stock your freezer with 3 to 4 pre-portioned healthy meals. Keep protein bars, Greek yogurt, cut vegetables accessible for stress-triggered moments. Minimalistic movement options even. So we don't want to minimize them. So we want to bookmark 2 to 3 10-minute workout videos or create simple routines. It could be 10 squats, 10 push-ups, a 30-second plank, 10 burpees, whatever, okay? This requires 0 equipment for low energy days. So if you're struggling, do this, just get that done. Bookmark the 2 to 3 10-minute workout videos or just create your own simple routine just to get you through it. Accountability system. Complete your weekly check-ins with myself. It's very important, guys. Even if you've missed one and you think, oh, what's the point of doing them ever again? Just do it the next week, man. Honestly, stop acting like a toddler about it and do it the next week. Be a grown-up. You're trying to achieve something. Utilize me for help. One of the biggest red flags I have with people is when they go quiet. My word, it is the biggest red flag ever. If I don't hear from someone, if I've sent them 4 messages and they haven't replied, or if I just haven't heard from them in a few weeks, or if they haven't done their check-ins for a few weeks, red flag straight away. I know you're struggling, and that's why I pester you more. If you want me to pester you less, be proactive and message me, okay? Simple as that. Guys, at the end of the day, I want to help you all as much as possible, so do that. So complete your weekly check-ins, even do it with a friend as well. On top of it, add an extra layer of accountability. If they know your goals, just check in with them and say, yeah, you know what, I struggled this week, but next week I'm back on it. Be engaged with the community as much as you possibly can. The reason why, guys, it makes a massive difference. I'm in a community for helping, like a business mentorship, just to help me kind of structure my business. The more interactive I am in the group there, the more empowered I feel, the more motivated I feel, the more I actually take on. So it does help, okay? It's not just there for a reason. It's not just there for me to pester you or for your phone to keep buzzing, all right? And micro commitment strategy. So rather than promising yourself perfect days, commit to single actions. I spoke about this before. Let's break it down. So it could be drinking a glass of water before you have your coffee. It could be taking the stairs, not taking the lift. That builds trust with yourself. It builds self-belief. It makes you realize you can do these things consistently, and it's just going to really, really help you increase your positive kind of mentality around yourself and your behaviors and your actions. Remember, you don't fail because you fall off. You fail when you stop getting back on. You fail when you quit. People who don't quit never fail. They never fail. They just keep going. They make mistakes, yes, but they never see it as failure. They just continue and they don't quit. And that's what I want you guys to remember, okay? This button, I'm going to swear one more time, so be wary. The fuck it button needs to be eradicated, and we need to start thinking more logically, more rationally, and really, really utilize the positive movement that you are doing and realize how much positive work you are doing to improve your life. That is today's lesson, guys. It's a big one, a lot of stuff going on there. So let me know if you've got any questions. I'm sure you have, and I'm sure this relates to a lot of people. All right, so hopefully it's made sense. If you need me, you know where to find me, and I will speak to you really soon, okay?